Lamandang Gumbo Jisen Jambe Yangwa Chansa Lo Yin Kange Lo Che Jimye Jinde Nindai Nanda Rasa We Jinye Denge Jishin Se Che Nyen Dong Ka Le Mamze Kanda Sipe Se Rama Re Mendo Dong A Ge Se We Ronzo pen lai bon jian tra jie yan lai zhong chu yang den so. Zhu zha zhu zhu ni mo ni lo lin ji zhang zhong zhong zi ji. Ma ri min sen dong ai niu gu jin yin zhen zi ra chi nam. Din ne da jiu san jiu tra zhen yan den lin zo jiao zi du wen gu. 这扎这单这年间这到了门神江北洋马的马拉巴卡哈巴的是给的的的没在同时的有是阿马拉巴是的的马是三人给了文神给到了的我们拉山 Kadang tenjo xiong do pa ye lon zhen pang bei na wa zang du su gan se da ren de ba an zhong sen zhi de na yang gong bo zhen yang jin yin nian ge me ba yang tong wa rai xiu gun zai de sen ga rai xi zhi sen Bin man jin ba ni xiong so sro no nyang tren den jan so so gan dre la ma nam lai so wan or nye san ge nian bian tun jie sen tre chen zhong doi yam zoi gor nam da sam ye nian den den zhen guan chou ji ro lin bei sha lai so wan de jiang ba lai chen lai bian me nam ba zhi jian se lan jie yang se jiu song ba Gao ba den den bian man dong a lin jiang yang yin se wang ba so wan de ban de long jian bei ro nam ba zhi人间难爱情的冷死去，人们等在云的家子的路的那也杀了所谓的我们去给人间保障，天son三界跟着我你，让神真国门孙等在把。萨耶拉美小拉索瓦的，那么哎呀，当巴拉也跟那不当的境界中，当当的跟。说跟着那年这咱把他们这个都当地去的都，大切现在告诉他们，而且我不能讲就是，呢，少的对，先把这个有的是。
So when we are listening to the Dharma, the most important thing is to listen with the motivation of bodhicitta.
Manam gadanya besim jentam cherani tomame petine tomama chepani tikyamere toma chebete stinjin burkana yore tinjin teda tamje landa korwa tomala ne de yore magen teza ningje magen teda tamje zobe sanje ji sala kogu du zobe sanje ji sadi tonga tamje dan thalware du thela kogu du tekkobar chawe chedula tene ngai gi tambe chesmo ne nyambe tene yon chanjo sin salta December shoes.
So all the sentient beings that are equal to the extent of space, there's not one of them who has not been our mother before. And when they were our mothers, they were extremely kind to us, did so much benefit for us. But now they are wandering in samsara and experiencing various kinds of suffering. So we have to feel compassion for them and try to establish them on the state of Buddhahood, the state of enlightenment, because the state of enlightenment is the state that is free from suffering. So this is the way we should put into place the motivation of bodhicitta when we listen to the Dharma, that I'm going to listen to the Dharma and practice the Dharma in order to establish all of our mother sentient beings in the state of enlightenment.
Akaji sembar chewe chwe lame Tukdrup Barché Kunsel ki Ngöndro tere Ngöndro chidem de la kene thangpa Ngöndro chitu iba Ngöndro kajeng ba sumba Ngöndro nyamling de ting dis yoga shiba Ngöndro tujang sosa imba ngaba Ngöndro yewa che nga yebe nang ne tene shi Ngöndro shi sinde ngaba Ngöndro yewa na yang shirwa Ngöndro tujing tunyo Ngöndro ngoshi Ngöndro sum yoba nga ne nyi Ngöndro shi sinde ten tarin kabzu baba ngoshi Ngöndro tela yang tene timong chi Ngöndro Tumi nanji Ngöndro sheye batele tene timong chi Ngöndro la tene tajurnya kawa tseminda wa le jumde kore nyimik shiyebe nane tene le jumde ki kabsu baba imbare.
So the teaching today is on the preliminary practices to the Guru's heart practice, dispeller of all obstacles. And there are 5 main topics there in this teaching. The meaning of the phrase preliminary practices, how the preliminary practices are important, the extensive, medium length, and concise preliminary practices, how the preliminary practices purify the obscurations and gather the accumulations, and the types of preliminary practices. And we finished the first 4 there, and now we are on the types of preliminary practices, of which there are 3. The preliminaries of material items, the preliminaries to the meditation session, and the preliminaries to the main part. And now we are on the preliminaries to the main part, which consists of the outer common preliminaries and the inner uncommon preliminaries. And within the outer common preliminaries, there are the 4 thoughts that turn the mind from samsara. The difficulty of obtaining the freedoms and advantages, death and impermanence, karma, cause and effect, and the faults of samsara. And now we're going over karma, cause and effect.
Tene le jumde chikapla tene le jumde ngoy yewa tela tene njui yewa, dribu yewa, chebargi yewa sum yores.
So as far as the types or the different types divisions of the teaching on karma, cause and effect, there are 3 main sets of divisions: the divisions of the cause, divisions of the result, and the divisions of this special characteristics or the particular divisions.
Ate sum yebe nang ne de chedang gi yeshing ma de dirwa pangchami ke wele gipchak ke wele ani thamje leji ra jinde ma sum yora ta pangchami ke wele nang la ni pangchami ke wele gi gyi yewa dribi yewa chebar gi yewa sum yora.
So that's within each of the types of karma are those 3 topics of the types of the cause, the types of the result, and the particular types or the types with the particular characteristics. But the general topics, the more overarching set of 3 topics are the non-virtue, which is to be abandoned, virtue, which is to be taken up, and how everything has the nature of karma. So those other 3 topics, other 3 sets of divisions, the divisions of the cause, the result, and the special divisions are within the non-virtue, which is to be abandoned, and the virtue which is to be taken up, and so forth. There's like a subdivisions.
Yeah, njui yewa de ka kondu shi sembare ta dribu yewe ka su bare dribu yewa tela tene yang ansas yang de naminji dribu gyutinji dribu wangdi chebe dribu jebu chebe dribu shi yorwa shi yebe nang ne tene naminji dribu kondu shi semba sinne tene gyutinji dribu la yang cheba gyutin sa nyongwa jidin se ni yore ne cheba gyutin de kondu shi sa ne tene nyongwa gyutinji ka su bare nyongwa gyutinji ka su la yang tene ngaran tsojita liji kone sape tebu nyongso, ngagi kone sape tebu nyongso, ju kone tebu nyongso, ligi kone sokzibe kone tebu nyongso, ligi kone majimba lambe kone tebu nyongso, jutime tebu nyongso, tene liji kone tene teba logora nyibeke ane, ju kone tebu nyongso koto shisimare, tarin kapsa pabade tene ngagi kone tene nzendele nebiyo yes.
So that's the divisions of the types of the three sets of divisions of the non-virtuous to be abandoned are the divisions of the cause, the result, and the special divisions, or the divisions of particular characteristic. And the division of the cause we've already gone over, and now we're talking about the types of results, the divisions of the result. And here there are four main types of result. The result of ripening, the result which is in accord with the cause, the dominant result, and the result of human action. And we finished going over the result, which is ripening, the result of ripening, and now we're talking about the result which is in accordance with the cause. And we finished talking about and among the results that are in accordance with the cause, we have the results in accordance with the cause which consists of action, and the results in accordance with the cause which consists of experience. And we finished all of the results in accordance with the cause that consists of action. And now we're going through the results in accordance with the cause which consists of experience. And so last time we talked about the result of killing with the body, doing the non-virtue of killing with the body, and doing the non-virtue of stealing with the body, and the experiences that result from sexual misconduct with the body. So now we will talk about the experiences which result from the first non-virtuous speech, which is lying.
Katsingema tene ngarangi jimangbo shebayina tedela tene mitenzuke ani karsigore nyongwa jutimba de tene mishinji kurwa tapires mishinji katangires.
So if we have lied a lot in our past lives, and now in the present life, that karma will be experienced by us in the form of people denigrating us and insulting us verbally.
Tene shenji kokortange tende mangbo yombires ate ane nzengi tene nyongwa jutinres tanga zutanda jikdenji kamla tene mi chenpo injarong chongchong injarong tene kurwa tapingi mangbo shilekidowa tene miki katange mangbo shilekidowa ani miki kokortange mangbo shilekidowa tate kandesene chongware sena tene tsenye mata tene shilbagi tene nyongwa jutinti tene teikama tene nyongwa yores.
And in addition to people denigrating us as a result of lying in the past life, in our past lives, people will deceive us a lot as a result of that karma. So these are the results which are in accordance with the cause, which are experiences, like the experience result in accordance with the cause of lying in the past life, that people will denigrate and insult us, and also they will deceive us, trick us, and so on and so on. So whoever it may be in this world, whether it's a kind of somebody very important and a high-level person, or just ordinary people, not so important people, we can see that so many people get insulted verbally, denigrated, and also so many people are victims of deception, of the people deceiving them. And the reason for that, why that happens to so many people, is because they have lied in their past life, and now they're experiencing these results in this life.
항하기 니바 아마테 아니 사람만나서 되네 참바치비 인기 되네 단다 영화 규틴라 되네 수수 초보당 파마나 분자서가 되네 카탈로.
So then the second non-virtue of speech is divisive speech. And so as a result of using divisive speech in our past lives, in this life, what will happen is that we will be separated from the people around us, such as our parents and friends and family and so on.
아니 나랑스게 되네 팔라 깨져지시나요? 거기 되라더니 마간에 되네 깨져len 님바든데 출라잡아 되네 자그레스 그래서 타마치비게 되네 아스마르타 영원 규틴레스.
So this is the result of in accordance with the cause, which is experience of performing divisive speech in our past life, is to be separated from those people. And secondly, when we will ask people around us, for example, if we ask our father for something, the people, he will not really respond to us nicely, and won't if there are our interactions with people will be difficult in that way. They won't really respond to us, or if they do, they won't respond nicely. So these are the experience results that are in accordance with the cause of divisive speech.
그래서 먼저 영화도 뉴튼들 니니 연구를 라인바 근데도 니니 연구를 아니 다 마기 숨바 직접 아니 직접 세력나만 넘소 되네 직접 제비 genji 되네 단다기 값 봐발라 되네 만원조 양되네 계제 민님바 계제 님부 메바데 망보 호그레스 아니 깨다 첨부시다 작은 말에스 만님바 고양데 아니 소소랑기 계제 셰바 이나요 되네 헬라 되네 투바쇼 그레스.
So, as I said before, with each of the non-virtues, there's two experienced results that are in accordance with the cause for each of them. And so for the third non-virtue of speech, which is harsh speech, as a result of committing harsh speech in our past lives, in this life, the experienced result, which is in accord with the cause, will come about, which is people, we will hear like unpleasant speech all the time. People will talk to us in a very unpleasant way, talk about us in an unpleasant way, and we will not have a good reputation, or we will not be famous as well. And in addition, we will when we talk to people, it will come about that we will get into fights very easily. There will be conflict due to that.
ingaki shiti tsanne ta iki kapsu napsim lisum nokdo yorwa ta napsim ji ini napsim yila samba mitup jing sore napsim chebe chenyima napsim chebe ji namenji tini tanda yongwan jutin ji tributi ani sambe tendugu mares.
So now, having finished the 4 non-virtues of speech, then we have the non-virtues of mind. The first one is greed or covetousness, and the first result of greed is that the experience result, which is in accordance with the cause, is that our aims will not be accomplished. What we want to accomplish will not. We won't be able to accomplish what we wish for.
Tene ngarang su tungal mi dewa dende nasba yongres. Sambe te mi tuba chik dang ani tungal mi deba mongbo shi leba chik tene napsim gi yongwan jutin.
And in addition to that, many things that we don't want to happen will happen to us. So first of all, what we want to accomplish will not be accomplished, and second of all, the things will happen to us that we don't want. Thus, the experience result in accordance with the cause of covetousness and greed.
Tene serabungaman namsu tene nasim chebala tene tene tanda yongwan jutin la tene tutak tu tene jikpa chimbo dang ani sewa nuba mongbo tene legires niba.
And then, as a result of having hostility or ill will towards other beings in our previous lives, the experience result, which is in accordance with the cause that will come about in the present life, will be that, first of all, we will be in a lot of kind of frightening situations and frightened states of mind, and we will experience a lot of hostility around us, directed at us. A lot of hostility and violence will come towards us.
Tene yegi sumba lokda serabungaman namsu tene lokda cheba lokda mangbo cheba la tene tene anyegi kyula tene jirwa longzira suko nyong yongye dang tene takto tutakto tene semba madewa tene chagres lokda jirwa nyongchi kyabtang pungye mewe sabkes marmares napsing yila napsing takto chewa mambo yustu je lokda kataji nye dang ding satirand.
So then the third non-virtue of mind, which is wrong views, as a result of having wrong views in the previous life, the experience result, which is in accord with the cause, will come about in the present life of not having like necessities that we need, different possessions and wealth and so on. Ani di chabang
semba madeu.
And secondly, that our mind will not be at ease in a kind of happy state.
Kadi nongwan jutin de sarsongasa nongwan jutin de tab debo chen shigi tab debo chen she ba ina sokje chetung ne mangshins chetung oda ne mangwa sokje nongwan jutin.
So now I will teach you a convenient way to remember all of the experience results that are in accordance with the cause. And now we finished explaining all of those. So here's a convenient verses to remember that. So the first line of the verse goes, by killing, one has a short life and many illnesses.
Majin lengi longje wul jungse ye jang kudokcho nidwa.
And by stealing, one will be poor, and even if one has some wealth, thieves and robbers will attack you.
Delo kimdap mizeshin delo kimdap mizeshin sanda tukshin dadarjo.
And by doing sexual misconduct, one's partner will be ugly, and that partner will fight with you and become your enemy.
Zinji kurte mika dang shinji luar cheba mang.
Mika is in the
Mika dangra.
the kurdik and the shinki lur. And by lying, people will denigrate and insult you and also deceive you.
Kami shenyen zatang tal neba laryang golwachong.
Maybe in a zanen
Kita shewa inaya tula golwaching.
And by engaging in divisive speech, one will be separated from the ones close to you, and when you speak, the people that you speak to will then they will attack you, or they respond. They kind of start a fight whenever you speak to them.
Nga kyal tsikmi zinshin popa chung changbor me kyang shenji deminzin.
And by lying, one's words will not be honored, and one will have little confidence in speaking. And although one speaks the truth, people will not believe you.
Nafsem yela samba mitukching mitu todo bape tungal chung.
And by being covetous or greedy, your wishes will not be fulfilled, and you will undergo the suffering of having things that you don't want to happen to you come to you.
Nesim jikshin trapa tang tsewa lasok shindumang.
And due to having a hostile attitude or ill will, you will be afraid, and you will have all kinds of suffering, including people being hostile and violent towards you.
Lokte tawa nimbar nesing yoju rangi semtu chung. Lokda taji kong de shute nota lokte ge aningarang tawa nimba ki gyula tapa higreso.
Also, the teacher younger student.
Lokte tawa nimbar ke sing yoju rangi semtu gyuse. Miki ko tangi mangu dene seminyo bachagreso.
So then through wrong views, you will, if you practice wrong views, if you hold wrong views, then later you will hold bad views, kind of the wrong views again, and people will deceive you and then kind of lead you to be bewildered and so on. So this is another result of wrong views that I forgot to say last time, which was that just a second ago, which is that by holding wrong views, you will again give rise to evil views or bad views. This is also the experienced result, which is in accordance with the cause of wrong views. So now I've finished explaining the result, which is in accordance with the cause, and of which there are two kinds: the result, which is in accordance with the cause, that consists of actions, and the experience result in accordance with the cause, or the result in accordance with the cause, which is an experience. And for each of the non-virtues, there are two of the latter, of the results in accordance with the cause, which are experience. For each of the non-virtues, there's two.
naminji tibu shi sembare, yutenji tibu shi chu sembare, wangi tibu singa chi sumbadwa. Wangi tibu di tini namindi yulla mingire sen. Yogi yulla.
So now I've finished telling you about the result of ripening and the result which is in accordance with the cause. So now we get to the third type of result, which is the dominant result. And the dominant result ripens in one's environment, in the place where one is, in wherever they happen to be born due to the result of ripening. This dominant result will ripen in the environment of the place.
Ini wangi tibu nangi wang shepati ani yulla wangwar chepa. Imba songzang ani wangi tibu labar.
So this result is called the dominant result because it is the result which kind of rules over or dominates the place or the environment.
속죄지 teni 타가르스고레 wangi tibu tela ini 속죄지 사조 nyammiga shing. Mamdogna yangsa jela sopa ke songre.
So as a result of killing, the dominant result of killing will be that one will be born into a place which is unpleasant and contains, is full of kind of cliffs and ravines, this kind of place.
Nyammiga wasena teni saja dering teni neta nasa ini sayu ini tama shiba tele mangbudo o tendota chikpa chimba shila soba chui chikpa mei chikpa lungi chikpa la soba yoba tenzola ini saja de nyammiga wasa.
So what is meant here by that the place will be unpleasant is that the place will be full of illness and different kind of problems, like, for example, earthquakes and so on and so forth. These kind of things that happen in a place that are inauspicious. And for example, also the four great fears, the fears related to earth, water, fire, and so on. This is what is meant. These will also be, happening in the place where you live. This was meant by that the place will be unpleasant.
Makdogdang tabjila soba yoba saja yare. Eta bodi ani nyammiga saja tela ani ngalos tigre song.
And in addition, there will be war and a lot of conflict in the place where you live. This is all referred to by that word unpleasant.
Ini ngamdrok sigdo. Ngamdrok sena teni saja pe drokhabo. Saja do ragarogi mambuyoba, teni shingna sarasure mambuyoba, teni satinza dagadogi mambuyoba, lamka drokhabo denzola teni ngamdroks.
And so the second word there that Lamela used to describe this place that results from killing is, I translated as ravines, but the way Lama is explaining is that what it refers to is places that are difficult to travel, difficult to get around. Like the places that have rocks everywhere, difficult to get around the rocks, or wood and trees in the way everywhere, and the earth is all like difficult to get around. So this is what is referred to that word namdro.
Ini yang sa chin sendo, yang sa chin sena yang pe sabu. Marile la minga sabo. and they says like you yes or the young such and so the result in the tongue the young circle the dig the ning so to my south so kuma sound the she do the things of the anica de sena on the table sing the yes.
And then the final description of the place which will result as the dominant result of killing is that the place will have ravines, cliffs and ravines. So this is refers to these cliffs where there's a very steep, like a face to the hill or the mountain, or a smaller type of cliff where it's very easy to fall off and die. For example, we see around us these kind of places, right, where there's sometimes animals living in that kind of place in the cliffs, where it's very easy for them to fall down, and oftentimes they will fall down and die. So this is the other way that your environment will come out as the dominant result of killing.
Iba majin ba lang be the lodola se sir dangxing za se sir dangxing junxin la dribu mecha muge be sarje song.
So then as a result of the dominant result of stealing is that you will be born in a place where the crops are always being destroyed by hail, and the trees will not bear fruit very well, and there will be famine around you.
The yodo sing de den anzo ge sing khari tabe na re tab chu tenzo ani arso re dribu ya wo chi min du yo mare bu ya wo mai member de inama junje sum do za se ser sum se za se na tni dribu de lodo de ya ge cha wi je la tni lodo dribu de tni no ni sam thala da bo cha de da bo cha ge la za se ge yu bu ko ni bu da ya tem bu sa on de ani ko thala da bo cha do se se na chak ba shon dribu ge yong dribu min sarwala tni de chak ba shon na tni dribu tholo cha se se na serwa jam nga serwa se chu chu me dem na tni lodo de tholo cha ge do on den da bo cha ge se de on ge de bo de son.
So whatever kind of tree or other plant we may be trying to grow some fruit out of, when those trees are not very good, they will not be able to bear their fruits. And this can happen also for three reasons. Due to the roots, or maybe the kind of like channels within the tree, like the veins of the tree, and secondly, it can be due to frost, and thirdly, due to hail. So the first one, which is due to the kind of like inner roots or veins of the tree, is when the tree will grow and the plant will grow, and then it's ready to give the fruit from the end of the branch, but this part at the end of the branch, that the bud or the flower which should give the fruit, it doesn't, it gets ruined. Sometimes there may be insects that eat that, and then it won't be able to bear any fruit. And then the second thing that happens is that although the tree or the plant may bear some fruit, the frost, the cold will come, and the frost will come, and that will destroy all the fruit, or to stop the plant from bearing fruit. And then thirdly, with the hail, when we have like very intense hail storm, this also will destroy the crops and destroy the fruits. So this is all the dominant this will happen when as a dominant result due to stealing.
Torna Xing tapsa lodo tapsa ki Xing yonanyang tene Xing la tribu mamin sagi tene sajala tene kigi reso.
So in brief, although one may be born where there is a land to grow these kind of crops or trees, and those trees or crops will not be able to bear their fruit.
Atendele kia songa ina kari yonguri muge chawto urwa. Se sa tu mara, se sa ma tu tene shito urwa. Yula tene kian tene shito uda. Wangi te us.
And then as a result of that, of course, what happens is there's a famine and hunger. And because people can't get what they need to eat, they will die. So this is the dominant result of stealing. Yeah, that's the dominant result of stealing.
Deba lobar yembe xiangji dang damzab lo soba ne yiduk miwang sarke song.
And as the dominant result of sexual misconduct, one will be born in a place which is full of dirt and mud and kind of excrement and so on.
So deba lobar yem yongde tene wangi jibu de tene manzo kyakwa yora kyakwa nuna bu tene kigdo o tene kig jimba tangsam nala bu jimba nala bu chag bu dwa o tene ki nes kig tene damzab sema tene tsokpa isa sanjala sa anando chu tsokpa tene tsama tsokpa mangbuji dwa de tsokpa mangbuji yoba nala tene anando kig dwa misawa ine na kig re so te tig kandesini karichene tene chongsongwa re so deba lobar yemba la tene wangi jibu mimba re so.
So we have or like a feces and a urine, right? There's all kinds of insects, for example, that live in feces, and some insects will live off of the urine, and so this is actually what would happen to us as a result of sexual misconduct. If we practice sexual misconduct, you may be born as this kind of being in this dirty environment. And also the mud and dirt and so on, right? There's all kinds of sentient beings living in these kind of unclean places, mud and dirty type of places. All of those environments for beings are the result that they live in as a result of their sexual misconduct, the dominant result.
Zengi jorwa mi deshin tatu shepa tapshin takwe yu gendan treso.
And as a result of lying, one will not have many possessions or wealth, and will always meet with circumstances that kind of agitate the mind and scare one.
Jorwa mi tensa nantine sosolo peki kini rongzo ngobo tenso tini takwa tenpa chiyame ba. Tanda yoyo tola yang mi ketno yoyo tanda yoyo tola yang na nong nito yoyo tanda yoyo tola yang na tol toyo sobo kyo. Ati te yung jorwa mi tenpas.
So to explain a little more about what does it mean to not have possessions as the dominant result of lying, it means that whatever possessions you may even if you do get some possessions, they're never really kind of stable for you. They never really remain. Either you get the possessions and they may be stolen, or you get the possessions and they may just kind of be ruined all of a sudden, or your possessions, just as soon as you get them, may be lost. This is what is referred to by this dominant result of lying, that you won't have the possession.
Dāgdā shēba dākshīng sēnā tēne sēmbā tī sālbō shītā mē bā sēmbā tsāba tsūbē mīkashī sēmbā tsāba tsūbē yōngu dōwa o tēnē sēmbā tsāba tsūbē yōngwa tāng tēne sēmbē tāngmāng chār kītē yé sōngā shēba dākshīng dākba yu yēn tāng chē sēk dōwa shēba tē tēne sēmbā tsāba tsūbē rīgbā sālbō mē bā mīkashī yōngu dōwa sēmbā tsāba tsūbē
So the second description of the dominant result of lying is that you will always come into contact, you will have conditions around you that make your mind kind of agitated and frightened. So this refers to, there's many people, right, whose minds are not very clear and kind of just maybe not very clear, and maybe a little bit turbulent, and also always afraid and so on. This is what is referred to there. So this is all the dominant result of lying.
아니 참에 율 남로다 정론제라 소바 로가웨 냐라 네소
And as a result of divisive speech, one will be born in a place with a lot of ravines and there's different kinds of ravines and a place that's difficult to get around.
로데니 컨디션스 말에 테나데 정론세나 텐랑바니 인데 리니 여바기 파리 그저 도보 인데기 파르니 도코바 인데리 티기레소 trokawe nelnes.
So the first place that is described here is the same that I explained before, the Ngöndro, which was the place which means the place that has all the rocks in the way and hard to navigate around the rocks and trees and so on. And the second place is described here as the dominant result of divisive speech is the ravines. So that refers to the when there's a river and there's like the two sides, two cliffs very close, very steep cliffs very close to each other on either side of the river. That's what the other part of this dominant result is, the ravines. So this is as a result of divisive speech, one will be born in this place that has it has the Ngöndro, this difficult to navigate places, and and also have ravines, which are also difficult to navigate.
And
as a result of lying, one will be born in a place that has many sharp stones, like a kind of fragments of stones and thorns and so on.
인데라 아니 도고 투비레 찬마젠스나 신동 찬마젠망고 이에서 사자라 근데 텐델로 도고 페기레 다 텐델 도고 페와기 인생 가르스나 테니 책조모 책습 시베기 테니 가서거래 왕기적거래서.
So the sharp rocks refers to there's rocks that will be everywhere where you're living, that also is difficult to get around, and you have to like walk in this kind of place with the sharp rocks all around you, and the thorns means that there will be thorny plants all around you where you live. So the reason why somebody will be born in that kind of place is that it's the dominant result of harsh speech.
마켈기 손남 체장 제부 미충웨 비직 로칭 미뎀베 서키스.
And as a result of meaningless speech, one will be born in a place where the crops won't yield fruit, where the farming won't really work, and the seasons will not be the seasons will be kind of out of whack or not on time. The seasons won't occur in the right way. Sonam Tsering
뒤질로지 미뎀베 서키. 빈범메세게 사자.
and
로스는 뒤질 템범메도. 뒤질 템범메되게 사자된 저 얘기를.
so you will be reborn in a place that is not very reliable, like this kind of place where the farming will not give any result and the seasons won't happen properly on time.
깝깝라 되는 건저 세기 치어도 되는 신노도 답보러. 신노도 답 용도 되는 거는 저 지부만 멤버로 서고 점송하이나 아니 대양 되니 nga kelki tini kaso kore one detail.
So in order to eat, we need to plant the crops, right? And if we plant the crops and then it happens that they are not able to give their fruits, this also can be the result of the dominant result of meaningless speech.
네 납셈지 로도 인예신 네디 녜베 동알망 보충스 인예신 예신 중다 중고 때 야고시라 중고요 말
로도 내당
납셈지 로도 인예신 네디 녜베 네당 투 두자 동알 나서 버티기를 했어 네스나 사자 두자 투스나 투제 두자라 소바 예바인데 아니 콜라 동알 나서 봐 이를 했어.
So then as a result of covetousness or greed, and we will be born in a place where the harvest is bad. So it means that the harvest, even if you can get some crops and reap some of the harvest, is not really good quality and so on, and not a lot of it. And also that place, it will be generally kind of evil place, an unfortunate place and an unfortunate time.
네 셈들이 답도 직바당 처와망베 네스케선.
So that previous one is a result of covetous and greed. Yeah. So now, as a result of ill will or hostility, one will be born in a place where there's a lot of fear and violence.
어때 저와 영신 꺄당 풍년메베 서키선.
And then as a result of wrong views, one will be born in a place where there's not much wealth and where it's difficult to find protection. There will be not much protection or refuge for people.
어때 율라 때는 중화인데 하나서 율라 왕war치기 유디 되니 내가 서로 왕기주 무엇은 샤송하랬을 상마.
So these are referred to as the dominant result because these results dominate over the place or the environment where we will be born.
시바데 기부체베테부 다 기부체베테부 세나 아니 기부생인데 아니 네바단 덴바시로 네바단 덴바시기 제베기 드부 나버다 네바단 덴바이나 드니 드부디야 첨부 민기로.
So that is the dominant result, and now for the result of human It was the result of human action. So we could also translate this as the result of manly action, actually. So there's that word kebu, which refers to the man, or also could be the like supreme spirit, but here just a man. That is something that is generally powerful in this context. So when so this is why the result of manly action refers to this man hears something powerful in this context, does something, then the result becomes very great, and so on. So this is a general idea of this kind of result. So generally, this word kebu, which can mean man, refers to something that has some power. A couple of kebus in the deep poetry kebu. Niba. Also poetry mare. So here ma po
mare nibata kebu mi mingre potam pomo kezeyo mare.
So
kebu sete gaso pomo nigara jigure.
So this is Lama is saying here that doesn't actually, this word kebu doesn't necessarily mean man, but it refers to like a human, but in the sense that the human has some it refers to human in their aspect as having a lot of power. So we can use my translation that I have been saying, which is human action, the result of human action. So, but it's not exactly the same as the word English word human. It's a different, slightly different sense. But anyway, so this human in this sense is something that has a lot of power, and then whatever that powerful thing does, that result will similarly be powerful or great.
Marangi lekang chebate teni karsukora mangbo pelne teni kewa titam teni kewa chimata serap tam jitu teni le de mangbo pelne teni jebu teni dungal samgi mi chaba teni mutame ba nyawar chibi ela kebe chibi jebu ola.
So this kind of result refers to when whenever we do some karma, that result of that powerful agent, it will increase. And in this life, in the next life, and in countless lives in the future, that increased result will keep on being experienced, sometimes almost endlessly. So yeah, this is the general, this meaning of the result of human action, or the result of the action of the kebu.
Kebu chebe jebu tang karzan le pel chewa sri do chikpar.
So here, the result of human action, and before what I was calling the how the result of karma increases. So a few times ago, a while ago, these are the same thing, in fact.
Aresana tene marangi paji chesha odi chede nimachik chasongana nimachik dikpa nimani chasongana nimani dikpa tega nasing lo changna lo dikpa te nasing lo mangbo chasna lo mangbo dikpa kewa chimala soba ne de bana kewa chimala soba dikpa tene dikpa pe mangbo chagi to.
So for example, if we do non-virtue for 1 day, then that is 1 day's worth of non-virtue. And if we do virtue for 2 days, this will be then 2 days worth of virtue, of non-virtue. And similarly, if we do a non-virtue for 3, 4, 5 days, that will be 3 or 4, 5 days worth of non-virtue. And if you do virtue for an entire year, do non-virtue for an entire year, then that will be an entire year's worth of non-virtue. And similarly, in the next life, if we spend the entire next life doing non-virtue, that will be an entire life's worth of non-virtue. So this adds up to a lot of non-virtue, doesn't it?
le migewa ti taring chesha pa ina sanyi le migewa ti chego marta taring le migewa chi sha degi dikba di taringa yore sanyi yore nangye yore ende yoba de mangbu song di ta dikba mangbu chagdo sanyi migewa chego yo mare taring migewa cheba zamgi ta di migewa gi le di sa di yo de ro sanyi yore nangye yore shenyi yore di yoba yoche gongbu ta dikba yore.
So I didn't understand exactly what he had said, what Lama had just said. It doesn't mean that you do the non-virtue every day, like you do non-virtue for 2 days, then this is 2 days worth of non-virtue. Or you do the non-virtue for a year, then this is a year's worth of non-virtue. What he means is not necessarily that you have to do the non-virtue again, but if you do the non-virtue one day, during the second day, that non-virtue will remain there with you, and it will be kind of continuing. And then it will continue similarly for 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days, just by doing it on that first day. And if you do non-virtue on one day, and it will also continue for a whole year, and it's a year's worth of non-virtue. And then also in our life, in our next life, for example, if we do non-virtue now, then that non-virtue will also continue for the whole lifetime in the next life. So it will be a lifetime worth of non-virtue. So it becomes a lot.
Attribute Gorkin Zotini, she's in Bares, Kanganazo, Yawa, Dribulango, Jui Yawa, Tini Ore, as some legend like Jui Yawa and Dribu Yawa, Chibargi Yawas and Sumi Yawa, the Kiltiki, Tribu Yawas in that issues in Bares, that Chibargi Yawa, the Shigo Yares.
So now this finishes the explanation of the types of result. And so if you remember, the topics outline here was the types of cause, the types of result, and the special types, or the types with special characteristics. So now we've finished that middle one, which is the types of cause for non-virtue, and now we're going on to the particular types or other kinds of types.
So Kebar Yawa de la Tini Mikewa Kebar Sena, Tini Mikewa Chesoma Mikewa Chebaina, Diba Chejung Kandeyore, Mikewa Chebaina, Kagi Diba Cheware, Kagi Diba Chungares, Kebar on the Kebar Yawa Sagres.
So this third topic, so we have within here the types of cause, the types of result, and now the third topic, it's maybe better to translate as the
Mandawa.
Right, the maybe the different features of this karma. So this refers to like the particular features or different features of the karma. So this refers to if we do this particular karma, how does it compare in severity or in the magnitude of the result with this other type of karma, and so on. And if we do this karma in a certain way, how does that result compare to doing it another way, and so on. So this is what this topic is about. You can say it's the different features of the karma. Yeah.
Tatela yang yawa di sum yores, tikpa chiang di kebar ki yawa. Ini tikpa chewa kain ba sheba. Ini nyeba chiwa kain ba sheba. Sum yores.
So there's 3 parts to this explanation of the particular features of karma. the first is the heaviness of the karma, then a second is the magnitude of the karma, and the third is the different degrees of severity of the karma.
다 딕바 치양스나 치와스나 지고사고 양와스나 양보 다 미개와 주체바서 미개와 주체바이나 미개와 주기 năng 가게디 딕바 치와레 가게디 딕바 총와 양와레스 랍나스.
So the first topic, which is the weight or the heaviness of the karma, this refers to we can have a heavy karma on the one hand, and then we can have karma which is lighter on the other hand. So this topic has to do with each of the 10 non-virtues and which one is heavier and which one is lighter.
아텔테슨 그래. 속제 콘나 디시미 미게주레 로타치 시요니 제샤오레 제샤온데 속제 디베틱 바침보레 소레 아레 속제 디바치보이메 김제 칸레스나 비사마 시엘레 베타게레스 심지사마 시엘 타게레 니수스 속데 베미세 바치기레스 데임바 손사타 디바침보레 소레 데임바 손사 비심 탈월 제바이나 디바침보레스.
So as far as killing, there's a verse that goes, there's no greater negative action than killing, and there's no heavier fault than wrong views. So here, when it's talking about there's no greater negative action than killing, the reason for that is every being is afraid to die. They don't want to die. Everyone will be afraid to die, and their life is something that is really precious. Every being, without any exception, they all cherish their life above all else. So this is why if you separate a being from its life and take its life away from it, this is extremely heavy negative action.
미게줄레 로다치 소레 네 미게와 줄나네 네 치와 디과 치와디 아니 로다이 소레 다 로다싱데 제송아이나 네 능바상지비 탈라미스 domba thamje yang method ini shakwa shakwa yulyang tini ragi yomare songyore endi ta longda te pechiware somar.
And then the second part of that verse says there is no heavier negative action than wrong views. So as soon as we hold wrong views, we then have then we cannot really practice Buddhism. We will immediately not really be a Buddhist at that point, and we will also not be able to hold any vows, and even if we want to confess and purify our negative actions, we will not have any place to do that. There will be no one to receive our confession.
Endi tinangla sokche lapti lugi nangla tsudugudwa lugi migyo nangla tsudugudwa lokta sidi yigi migyo nangla tsudugudwa endi yigi migyo nang chokchik yagore ni lugi migyo nangla chokchik yagore ta ngagdi lugi nangla pashago.
So killing is a non-virtue of the body, right? And wrong views are a non-virtue of the mind. So in this case, we have to separate the body on the one hand and the mind on the other hand for this in this context. So, and in addition, the non-virtues of speech, we can put them together with the body and just say these are non-virtues of the body, with the killing as the heaviest, and then there's, on the other hand, the non-virtues of mind.
한중한이 기능라 지와디 가르레 양와디 가르레스나 타당쇼 속제샤고 속제디 디과 지와레 소레 대제라 마진 렘바데 양와레 소 양 마진 렘바디 지와레스 로버리 렘바디 양와레스 고 yang lokor yamba di chiware zindi yang wares lesin ma dungani de denesin dogu yeres chiam.
So if we consider the non-virtues of body and speech on their own, how do we determine which one is the heavy or light when we're thinking about the weight of the non-virtues? So for the body and speech, first of all, the heaviest negative action is killing. And then compared to that, the next one, stealing, is lighter. But then if we look at stealing, compared to sexual misconduct, stealing is heavier. So we have then stealing is heavier than sexual misconduct, which is lighter than stealing. And then we go along the list like that, so that then again we have sexual misconduct is heavier than lying, which in this case would be lighter, and so on and so forth.
Ngadi chiang di tin goni ma yong gu ina yang sem ji chiang di wo me ya yong lokta di chiware lok tin nesem di yang ware nesem di chiwa ina tin napsem di yang wa cha on tin sem chi wo me ya chi ja ware chi gang ni ma chi ja chiang di chibar shi dinos.
So and then when in this way, when we're considering the non-virtues of body and speech, the heaviest is the first one, starting at the beginning of killing, and then it gets lighter as we go on. But then when we consider the non-virtues of mind, we start in the other direction. We start at the end of the list and go backwards, so to speak. So we start with wrong views, which are the heaviest, and then the ill will or hostile intent will then be lighter than wrong views. And then if we're considering hostile intent and ill will as heavy, then compared to that, the covetousness and greed is lighter than that. So this is how we have to think about the weight of the non-virtues. The non-virtues of body and speech, they start with the heaviest being the first one going down, and then with the non-virtues of mind, they start with the heaviest being the last one and going down through those three. So this is how the explanation of the weight of the non-virtues goes. And now we get into the explanation of the size of the non-virtues.
소소랑기 파양 임발라 tene mite ani dajomba yimba yang nyamdo yibane ina teseba ina tene ditikpa chewa resung
Is so part ng dajomba
nyamdo ta nyamdo mata ngai pawa di dajomba thop ngai pawa di dajomba thop ngai pawa di phayang rela dajomba yang rawa
so
teseba ina ta dikpa chimbore setikpa chewa sha
so this is not to explain the magnitude or the size of negative actions. So for killing, the killing, which would be the kind of greatest magnitude possible of killing, is if one of your parents, your father or your mother, is an arhat, and then you kill them at the same time they're one of your parents, and then also an arhat. If you kill that person, that your parent who's an arhat, this is the absolutely greatest form of killing, the kind of form of killing with the greatest magnitude.
Tene majin lembe nang tene lama kiwe shenyen dang punjosum ji junur longje la sopa tene majimba kuwa ina ni te ani tikba chembore so.
And as for stealing, if we this act of stealing, which is the greatest magnitude, is that if we take and steal the possessions and the wealth of the sangha or the three jewels in general, then this is the stealing of the greatest magnitude.
Ane develop yamba nang ne ane develop yamba chisa gi yul te ane sosok mayang yamba la mate nani zuma ani la soba yamba ina tene tela lobo cheba ina tikba cheba re so.
As for the type of sexual misconduct, which would be of the greatest magnitude, this would be if one were to carry out sexual misconduct against your mother, but your mother being at the same time a nun. If you did that, this is the sexual misconduct of the greatest magnitude.
Ane zenla tene ane sangyela soba la tene na namso kurwa taba ina tene zinjin na ne tene chewa dire so tikba chewa.
So as for lying, the act of lying, which is of the greatest magnitude, is if we were to denigrate the Buddha and say something untrue, which is denigrating about the Buddha. This is the greatest type of lying.
Chama tela tene chame nang ni tene bindin ju korlo yen cheba ina tene tikba chewa re so.
And among all the different ways we could use divisive speech, the one of greatest magnitude would be to use divisive speech with the sangha and create a division within the sangha.
Tene chibchube nang ne tene yangi pamatang tene pagwa namla tene chibchub sheba ina tene tikba chewa re so.
And among all kinds of harsh speech, if we use harsh speech against our parents or against noble beings, this is the greatest type of harsh speech with the greatest magnitude.
Ma kyalgi nang ni tene shoy deba namla tene yangwar chebe ki nga kyal chen she deba ina te tikba chembo re so. Shoy deba sena choy nyamne chede yongi milong tene keja da amde shene ni yangwar chebe ina te tikba chembo re so.
So, as for meaningless speech, the meaningless speech of the greatest magnitude would be if we use meaningless speech with a person who is practicing the Dharma and then distract them from that practice by saying all kinds of things. That's the greatest magnitude of
Tene nafsim jim nang ne tene yang da ba pongwa la nebe ki tene nyeba yunyo longje la soba chokwa ina chok togi sem jeba ina tene tikba chembo re so. Yang da ba pongwa se na tene
Yaman Japan.
nyamlen chige yunne rite nyamlen chige ba wa samten jin nyam chige ne so.
So the greatest magnitude that is possible for covetousness or greed is if we have the intention to steal the possessions of somebody who is engaging in the kind of perfect practice or authentic practice, which refers to people who are practicing meditation in retreat, like in a mountain retreat or so on.
Ne adapsum ra nesim Nisimte tini samepa ngala sopa tini nubeki simche bayina tini karsakota nisimte nana tini tiba chiwares.
So then as for harmful intent or hostility, the greatest magnitude possible for that mental non-virtue is if we generate an intention to carry out one of the 5 acts of immediate retribution.
Te nangme tini tawa ngamba chokta simba sara, tawa ngamba chokta simba sana tini lokdaki simki kirtulpe shuk chenpo zinna tate tikpa chenpo reso.
So then for wrong views, the heaviest, or not the heaviest, the greatest type of wrong view we can have is if we hold the wrong view, false view, to be really, we hold that view in very high regard, we hold it to be supreme. So this refers to when we hold wrong views and really get into them to a high degree.
Tate ane mikiawa chui nane tikpa chewa kain bate.
So now this is the explanation that has been now the explanation of the magnitude of the 10 non-virtues.
Nyeba chewa tela tini sumba nyeba chewa re. Tini nyeba chewa tela tini shisam chewa tartuki tini dikpe yana shi zoba ina tini nyeba chewa re.
So now to explain the how the gravity of the negative action, you could say the gravity of the negative action, the different degrees of gravity of the non-virtues. So this has to do with considering the basis, the undertaking. There's first the basis, the intention, the undertaking, and then the completion of the negative action. This is what determines their severity. Yeah, severity of the negative action.
Penna sok cheba tabu shila tini shisam chewa tabtuk jarwa ina tini kambo tini sebra chawa kainba manorwa sheba te shire.
So for example, to explain the basis, the intention, and the undertaking and the completion of the act of killing, that the presence of the object of killing, that a sentient being, and clearly being aware of the presence of that object of killing is what is referred to as the basis.
Tini sebra chebegi sem cheba te sambari.
And the intention to kill that being is referred to as the intention.
Sebra chawa laglen tarwa te ani jorwa re.
And actually putting into practice, or actually carrying out that action of killing, is referred to here as the undertaking.
Tini ongbo kaame lisim tawar cheba tela tini tartuk re.
And finally, when the faculties of the being are the faculties of the being cease, and the mind separates from the body of that object of killing, this is referred to here as the completion.
Tini chudi tini nganangze shidi nganangze 제삽티 디바 탐보 코사라레 삼바딜리디 티닝 안도 디바 니바 코사라레 티니 저왈리디 아니 디바 숨바 코사레 티니 타르독레디 티니 디바 시바 코사라레 시바 코사라레 젤라티니 디바 디베미스 니바 쳔버레 예스그르.
So when we have the basis for the negative action already there, then one negative action has already been committed, it's complete. And when we have that intention to perform the negative action, then its second negative action is already been committed. And when we actually undertake that negative action, that's the third negative action has already been committed. And when we complete the negative action, then it's our fourth has already been committed. So in this way, the negative action becomes very severe.
근데 인데 미게벨레 강제장 니 시삼제와 탑독디 상와이나 미게벨레 용조 상와레 상마 장장된 용도지 상와레 대숨 대시나네 드니 이마상 이 상와도이나 디바충와레 시에베 나네 숨창 징마사나 디바디 중화 숨예베 시에베 나네 이창 이마사나 디바텔레 중화 시에베 나네 드니 찍창 숨마사나 디바텔레 중화요레스.
So this way, if we have all four of these factors of the basis, the intention, the undertaking, and the completion, if all of those four are complete, then this is a negative action that is complete, and this, it's a complete negative action. But for example, if we have only 2 out of the 4 completed, then it's not as severe. It's a little bit lesser. So then if we go from the complete action with all 4, and then if we out of those 4 only have 3 of those factors complete, it's a little bit less severe than the complete one with all 4 factors. And similarly, if we have only 2 out of the 4 complete, it's less severe than that. And then only 1 out of the 4 is the least severe.
강원조 테네 다 미게와 생인디도 아니 미게와 롱아츠와기 테네 녀몽발 소발람도 테네 미게와 텐조 테네 롱네 레 제바보양 룽아 있으면도 다 레 제네 테네 제보양 민기도 다 제보 딘데 민기였나 민비기 뒤제 간대실의 민기였나 삼나하세요.
So now we have the non-virtuous actions that we may perform, and we have the motivators of the non-virtuous actions, which is our afflictive emotions, and then we have the results of each of those non-virtues. But now the question may arise: what is the time frame within which the results of these negative actions may come about?
먼저로 더 걸리기로와 담미게와 생인데 요래납기도 담미게와 생인데 요사래 다 대군의 롱치기 뒤에 녀망보 요래세기도 녀망보야도 대군의 제바보 요래세기도 룽아이스음도 다 딘데교 딘데기 줄라데네 만도 제보 망보스미기도 쓴다 가상도 남인지 제보 교딘지 제보 엉기도 개보 제보 제보 망보스미기도 제보디 딘데민기도 딘레 제바소나 개바당 중화되는 망보시오도 다 딘데나 디 제보디 민얘기 뒤즈디 간데실레 민기데스 먼저로 더 걸리기로와 내나 다 텔라 드네 민줄기 드네 시에서 드네 시요레스.
So we this question will come up, won't it? We will wonder about that. We have learned about the 10 non-virtue actions and the afflictive emotions that motivate the non-virtues, and also ourselves as the agent of the non-virtue, our body, speech, and mind. This is what does the non-virtue. And the the results of a non-virtue, those 4 types of results, of the result of ripening, the result which is in concordance with the cause, the dominant result, and the result of human action. And there are the different degrees of weight of the result, and the size of the non-virtue, and the size of the non-virtue, and so on. There's all these things, and the result will come out in this or that way. But then we will wonder what is the time that it will take for each of these results to come about. So for this question, there are 3 main points here.
내용 줄기 뒤세텔라 드니 한보텔라 통제용 줄기 레스지 에네용 줄기 레스니 레낭신도 용어 레스 좀 용어는 많이 레스 시레스
So the Sumar Shira. So there's actually 4 kind of time frames for us to experience the result of karma. There is the karma which will be experienced in this life, karma which will be experienced in the next life, karma which will be experienced in the future lives other than the next life, and then karma which will be experienced where it's not fixed when it will be experienced.
다 정보 통제용 줄기 레스나 리든 데이팅라랑 태능 아라운드 저기 미개와 제샤와이나 리든 데이팅라랑 라tin 미개와 게 동al 망보 용데마 용데바이나 테라 통제용 줄기 레스 그레스 아니 레디 사용데 니 단데기 리든 데이팅나양 용그레스 비케자레스 용시그레스.
So the first of these is referred to as the karma which will be experienced in this life. So this refers to if we do some kind of non-virtue in this life with our body, speech, or mind, and then later on in the same life we may experience all kinds of suffering as a result of that. That is what is being referred to here by this first one, which is the karma experienced in this life. So this is one possibility that we may perform non-virtue and the result will be experienced within this same life.
이나양 되는가는저 미제 데이터가 미개와체 미제 데이터가 정말 네가나 민나다 미상마 짜그러와 엔델라페 메세 켈링그러와 정말 영적 미제 딜라민도금이다 데인데 미제 엔데시다 켈링 좀전 톡사직 달래
The killing Marie.
당가나저 미개와 최송아이나 때 미개와 데부 리덴티 장바라 민기레스는 시샤바이나 가지 임바이나 때 미티저 빼면서 짜그러와 균데 켈링그러와 그 예보라 한다 전에 반다 민기러와 그 예보인데 그 렌데 가서 그 렌데라 거기 켈린치그러와 딱 렌데 틸라 마민 개와 제말미에시 요베 윤디 딱고 단다 틸라 마민디 제마민기 요나멘 아스마기 더벌리기러와.
So if it were the case that all the karma would be ripened within this present life, whatever we do here would then ripen within this same life, then this would be actually quite frightening for people, right? And people then would believe in karma much easier. They would accept that is true because it's very close to them. It would be very scary. But then because not all of the karma ripens in the same present life, some of it will ripen in our future lives. So then it's a little bit more removed and distant. So people will not necessarily believe it. They say, okay, maybe there's karma, maybe not.
개와 제말라 테네 민시기레 개와 제마게 제말라 민시기 에인디 아니 간다랑 마민디 개와 제마 민기 요레 삼바디 시를레 투마로.
So because that karma, it may ripen in the next life or it may ripen in the life after that. So because of that, it's kind of distant. So it's hard for people to really accept fully that it would happen.
네다 통진연주를 대대양 미녀요래 다 통진연주 개원 델라 마미나 되니 개와지 마미녀요 개와지 마양 네 레기 남이 민도요
So there is this karma, type of karma, which will be experienced within our present life. But if the karma we carry out now is not experienced in the present life, then it may be experienced in the next life. So this is the second type of karma that will be experienced in the next life.
갈때 개와지 마라 마미나 되니 개와지 마게 제마 망보이 제라 되니 민시기
And also, if our karma is not does not ripen in the next life, there are the lives after that. There are so many lives after that in which it will ripen.
이나양 돌아도 말해
But on the other hand, it will never be wasted. It will never lose its potential to ripen.
돌아도 제발라 양나 레디 민니 조고고요래 양나 텔레 긴식 트레네 아니 메바서고요래
in order for our karma to be eliminated, either it has to be experienced by us, or due to some condition that we can purify it with. It may be purified by putting into place some condition that will purify it.
레디 개와지마 되니 민예 여바 되니 개와지마게 제마나 민예 여바 여바 송장 땅아랑도 탄다 되니 가르서고래 렌데데 되니 발서고래 시다지 렌데라 도낭 텍토게 되게미도
And since our karma, it may ripen in our next life, or it may ripen in the lives after that. It's because of this that we don't pay a lot of attention to it. We don't consider it important, our karma.
레디 림바 신도를 빼다고지 샤송아이나 끝나가면서 직된제 감라다 보이미라스시 부모래 부모미라스시 부러와 부직부 여바체 부모직 제마 지여바체 냠도 권이 창사 잡에 임바체 쇼게 부모디 닝제고 시위지 여바체샤 공다 부모디 모르도 로자주 시바지 주례 임바상 주례 임바다고 차샤나 안 보디기 창사 자그래 부모들 양마라 부모디가 부들 창사 자그래 양마라 가서 부모디 단다 제마 시위지나 부모 주스 개발 모르도 로자주다고 차야이나 되네 된다잖아 균드페 녀도와 녀이데 거기 되니 가서 그래 부모들 창사 자만도 가서 부모 개모 차고도 생기라 된다 타가 타만 레기도 이나야 부모디 남지 못도 개모 차야라 부모디 갈래 니마직라 개모 마차나 니마직 로직 로주 납주 자주세데 니마직 부모디 개모 차야라 개모디 톨로 차기면도
So one example for this way that we deal with karma is, for example, in this world, there's nothing more beautiful to men than a beautiful woman. And likewise, there's nothing more beautiful to a woman than a very handsome man. But let's say let's say a man and woman get married in the morning, and then at that time, the girl that the man gets married to is extremely beautiful, so he marries her. But then what would happen is that by the evening time, that girl would become like an old woman, like an 80-year-old woman, not very attractive. Then if that were to happen, if things work like that, then that man may not get married to that woman in the morning, because it's very clear, it's so close that he can see that that woman will become very ugly and unattractive in the end. It would be very clear to him. But this is not the way it works, right? Because people get old very slowly, day after day. A beautiful woman will not become old and ugly just the next day. It will, slowly after day and year after year only, that will happen.
네. 엄목이 나 푸다티 푸페 지금부터 상대팀 창사 제기로 와. 창사 잡용도 부디 딱과 제부 되기래 생의 창사 잡이라 부모디 딱과 제마 되기래 생의 창사 잡이라 마도 부모디 교부 개무 차그래 나 창사 잡이 있으라면도 내나 개무 임바 삼금인도 개무 도고 니마치 개무 도해래 니마치 개부 도해래.
And also women and the girls, they will marry a boy, I think, because he's so handsome, right? They like to do that. And they will think, they won't think when they're doing that at that time, oh, this man is going to become old and ugly. And likewise, a man, when he marries a beautiful woman, he will not think, okay, now I married this beautiful woman, but she's going to become very old and ugly. That won't really be so present in their mind. People get married kind of with the attitude that their partner will remain young and beautiful. That the man who marries a beautiful woman, that his wife will remain that way. Nobody really gets married thinking, okay, now I'm going to marry this beautiful woman and she's going to get old and ugly. And that's what I'm doing. You know, they don't necessarily think that way. But the truth is that that will happen in the end. The beautiful woman that you marry very young it's inevitable that she will become old and ugly, in fact.
세상 부계보단 부모 개못해서 차에 듣고 갈래라 차인 거로 이제는 거다 부창서 잡도 다들 제마다 딱과 제마래 전 창서 잡 부디다 부모들이 불렀다는 부디 딱과 지구래 삼 되는 거 창서 잡도 라야 근데 부모 갈래 갈래더니 기모차에 대나시 내디 단다 다른 민지들 많이나 세지만 미네요 세지마게 지만라 미네요 라도고 요말.
And this is because the men and women age very slowly. You can't really notice it. It's just day by day, very slowly. You can't notice from one day to the next. So when men and women are looking at each other in that way to get married, they don't really consider that their spouse is slowly becoming old and ugly. They don't really see it that way because it's too distant. So in the same way, our karma, it will ripen in a future life or in the lives after that, but it will never be wasted. It's always sure to ripen.
다 시바 영어를 많이 배래 시트값수 되는 거랑 저기 레사에 되게 되는 거랑 저기 다 할수거래 냠nen체네 답비체 냠수랑네 되니 레디 마멘 바든데 서야요래 당하는 저 단다 도스면 검데세 님보 톱실 때네 되는 거 딕샤츠나 레기 티부 민기 민도스도 때 할수거래 망해벨레 녜베 렌데스 녜바야래 망해바야래 님보 때문에 망해바래.
So the fourth type of karma, which is this karma which is not certain to ripen, this refers to the fact that we do have these ways to purify our karma. We can practice the Dharma and use different methods to purify our karma, such as the meditation and recitation of Bodhisattva, and so on. If we, looking at it in that way, that we can use these methods to purify our karma, this kind of karma actually can be considered not certain to ripen, looked at in that way. So on one hand, karma is certain to ripen, but on the other hand, it's not certain to ripen.
근데 이거라 신다 연등 가요 말 내가 장바르다 이나 연등 정정지 야보 연등 정정 저기 요르다 코 주나 타가요 버데 코 연등.
This is why negative actions really have nothing good about them. They only will bring suffering. There's nothing really good about negative actions. But on the other hand, there is one thing, one small thing which we can say is good about negative actions, which is that it's possible for them to be purified.
자, 주니 다요 버데 가래 망에 벨레 생. Mangabe less thing until around to so did over the dial. Mangabe lady yoga thing until the so this number that.
Well, those are. So the fact that we can purify the karma and it will be eliminated. This is what is referred to here as the karma that is not certain to ripen. So this is really our good fortune, isn't it? That it's possible for us to purify our karma, and it's not always certain that it will ripen. So now this teaching session is finished. Let's all recite the dedication aspiration together. Sonam de tam de se tam ne ne ga nam han de ken ga na che ba la trube sibe solen ro an ro show.
아니 레김들이 드니 당대배 망보 요래 녀베티 서어데 이나티 스칼레점네 드니 섬레요 보통으로 마운스 펜도 첨부 요레스.
This topic of karma cause and effect, it's a little bit tricky and there's a little complicated to get all the details of it, but please make efforts to do that.
대단 첩직도 다 담배체 연습 나왔을 거라니. 루데니야 보고고데 토덴나야더니 장래야 보너로 나왔을 같은지 지마자용스.
In addition to that, in order to practice the Dharma, we need our bodily support and we need to be in good health. So please take care of your health and thank you so much for that and see you later.